There we go. Welcome, everyone. Probably going to be a small crowd tonight, and that's okay. I'm late by about a half an hour. I've just had a lot going on, and this seems to be a common theme for me over the last few weeks. I've been very, very busy. First, obviously, we had all of the things going on in my family. My mom passed. Even before that, she was, she had had a stroke and had needed a lot of care. So that was that's been a little bit of a kind of a thing. And I've just been busy. I've been out of town. The hours I have to do this, to stream as much as I did, just aren't the same. And so when I do jump online, it's usually going to be from now on. It feels like the entire, at least until I get things settled down, it's going to be on. I'm going to try and be on time, but maybe not be. I'm going to be on. I'm going to say some shit. We're going to either chill out or we're going to have some topics to talk about, and then that'll be it. I'll be gone. Just like today, my stream was an hour and a half, and in and out. That's what it is. I want to welcome everybody into the show. It's going to be good tonight. I have some pretty good energy going on, even though technically it's a chill stream. We're going to be seeing what we're going to be, what's good. I mean, that's what's up. So, the this weekend I'll be out of town again. There will be it's unlikely to be any streaming whatsoever. I will be down in Florida doing some cool stuff. So, I just want to make sure everybody, that this isn't a surprise to anyone, right? Like this isn't, it's, and plus, to be honest with you, the the groups of people that I have been interacting with over the past year and a half seem to have gone fucking nuts, and I don't, I don't want to deal with that, to be honest. So, I'm much happy. I'm just as happy in the real world, day to day. And I guess, I've got business stuff I need to do. I got a lot of things going on. So, I'm going to I will have some guests up tonight. So it'll be cool. So, spread the word. I'm up, I'm on. We got a lot of, going to be killing it tonight. The length of time that I can be on tonight. I don't know how long I can be on. Um, and like I said, I'm already late, I'm a half hour late, and I'm never late. I hate being late. But, things have to happen. And it's only going to get more and more interesting as time goes on. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, even though it's a chill stream, we can talk about serious shit. One of the things that's really got me going lately is this double standard. Hey, Ahimsa Alexander, how are you? How are you? Good to see you in the chat. Good to see you, the Steel Man. Good to see you so loud. Good. It's been a minute. And Smoking Spaceman's up in the chat. That's awesome. And anyone else who's lurking and where I can't see you, or haven't said anything. Good to see everybody. Good to see you all. Hope you enjoy the show. It ought to be a good show. I've got. I think it's very interesting. Hey, T Cycles. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. But it's been very interesting lately with the way the panelverse and the entire, like, this little section of YouTube has just been going, batshit crazy. I will freely tell you who I like and who I don't like and why I like or do not like them. This has nothing to do with anything. And you're not going to change it. Like there's no. What I find interesting is this drama stream back and forth between all of these various people, expecting to change someone's opinion. I think that's fucking hilarious. And the other thing I find hilarious is that there seems to be a double or maybe triple standard where certain people can say and do shit and that's okay, and other people do it and it's a big fucking, it's just bad. So I just find that really interesting, right? I find it very, very interesting. And um, the the reality is that's just bullshit. I don't care what other face you put on it. It's just fucking bullshit. Okay. If I call out, for example, and I'm not picking on anyone here, I'm just using these as a known example. If I pick on Sarah, the Raging Tomato, for her conduct regards to Andrew or even me or who the fuck ever, Bob the knob slobber. If I criticize her behavior towards that person, and then somebody else who I like does the same exact behavior, and I don't criticize that, what's called a coward. Okay, a coward. And I'm lying to myself. And I can't do that. Maybe you can. I don't know. Everyone's a little different. Everyone's a little, everybody's got their own quirks, right? But I can't lie to myself like that. If I say that this is bad behavior for this person, then it's bad behavior for that person. If this bitch is a whore because she fucks 100 guys, that bitch that fucked 100 guys is still a whore. I don't care what her motivations were. Okay. This is just simple reality. Now, you can warp reality all night. You can sit there and say, well, he didn't know any better, or what the fuck ever. Right? What the fuck? Give me 1 second, guys. Something big happened. That was very loud. Give me 1 second. All right. That was my son getting his gear to go hike the AT trail this week. Out of the other side, on the other side of that wall is what we call the airplane shed. In the airplane shed, not only is there an airplane, there's also a bunch of hiking and camping gear that my son uses and I use too. And he needed to get it, and he slammed the fucking door like all teenagers everywhere, all across the world tend to do. Arno Anonymous, I don't know, however you say that. They socialize wrong and meet Daddy Grid to learn how to act grown up. Could be that's possible. It's entirely possible. But Steelman, I'm talking. This is in general. This seems to be the case in a lot of, and basically the entire little subset of people that I tend to interact with, or I have tended to interact with over the past year and a half. Now, I obviously interact with a lot of people, and not all of them are this way. It's probably no more than 3 or 4, honestly. But there's a groupthink that's involved, and I just find it very interesting. I mean, I find it super interesting, right? Like if I call out one person for being a degenerate, for example, let's take I tell Flo he's a degenerate all the time. Now, I don't hold that against him. He's a degenerate. He knows he's a degenerate. I know he's a degenerate. I have the same standard for him being a degenerate that I have for anybody else being a degenerate. The fact that I like him, and I think that, for the most part, I feel like he at least tries to act in good faith. Doesn't always succeed. Not all of us do. But I don't hold that against him in the same way that I would hold it against someone. Pardon me, my glasses are smeared. I don't hold it against someone that I would that comes to me and says, hey, I'm the same as you. I have the same values as you. This is something that I find interesting in the online community. If I were to go to Steelman and say, Steelman, you and I have the same values. You and I are the same. And then, Steelman obviously does things that I don't, right? And then if I were to just overlook the fact that he's doing whatever, for example, if he's, I don't know, smoking pot or doing mushrooms behind a shed or whatever, and I didn't call him out on that, then we're, how are we the same? We're not the same. And if I don't call him out for, well, what did I do there? My bad, hit the wrong button. If I call out one person for that, and but I don't call out somebody else, then I'm a hypocrite. Am I a shroom brother? I am not a shroom brother. I have a friend of mine who has done a lot of work in how the use of psilocybin helps not it helps with PTSD or whatever you want to call it. And I believe that his research is accurate, and I think he's doing a really good thing. And I think that he's probably him and others who are going down this path have a good thing going on. You just came from a stream where there was a bleeding hearts for Cuba. I say karma is a bitch. Your opinion? You know what? I agree. Karma is a bitch. And the thing is that while I don't specifically believe in karma, I do believe that you reap that which you sow. That's one of the reasons why I try to be I try to be really honest with people about where they stand with me at all times. A lot of people seem to have a problem with that. I'm not really sure why. Maybe you guys can help me out. You're smart people. You guys look at look at things in a similar kind of way. Hey, what's up, potato? How are you, man? I may open up in a minute and have you up, my brother. I think you'll have some great insight into some of this. But if I say that you and I are aligned and you and I have the same worldview, but we actually don't have the same worldview, and you don't call me on my shit and I don't call you on your shit, we're both pussies. That's the way it is. Right? Am I right about that? I feel like I'm right about that. I don't know. Again, I've been away from the internet for a lot lately, right? Like I can watch it sometimes, but man, I'm on the range. I'm dealing with this probate stuff. I have a lot of different things going on in life that don't really have anything to do with this. And so this is actually giving me some clarity. I've stepped back. I've been able to look at things and go, why the fuck do I care? People don't like mirrors. It makes them see themselves and not the mask they hide behind. That's true. And worse than mirrors, what people really hate is accuracy. You ever notice that? People hate accuracy. People absolutely hate it when you call it what it fucking is. For example, you've all heard me call out my good friend Tyler, average debate enjoyer, for being a fucking pothead. He needs to quit smoking pot. When he doesn't smoke pot, he's much sharper. He's better. He's a better debater. Everything about him is better when he's not smoking pot. I would call out anyone for smoking pot, but I'm especially going to call out my friend for smoking pot when it's not helping him. When it's clear to see that it is the wrong thing for him to be able for him to be doing. Why don't you do that? And do it in a way that is not, I'm not putting him down. Right? I'm not beating him up. I'm just telling him pointedly, honestly, hey man, you are a better dude when you don't smoke pot. Your arguments are better when you don't smoke pot. You are at the top of your game when you're not doing that. You should not do that. You wish I knew. I'm being very clear, the Steel Man. I'm not talking about any specific person. I'm talking about the behaviors in this space. I'm not calling anyone. This isn't a call out. I don't give a fuck. This is just behaviors that I notice. I'm specifically using Tyler as an example, right? I'm using Tyler as an example. I'm not talking about anyone specifically. Is this about? No, no, it's not about that. I actually didn't see that. I've only heard about it. So, um, seems forget that Cuban Russ are best friends, and Cuban Russians are best friends, and if we allow it, Russia would have missiles in Cuba. I don't think that's true anymore. Um, but he said I couldn't go there because that was 30 or 40 years ago. My ass. Could be. Could be. I'm not sure on the Cuba thing. I think that it's you know, Cuba's kind of in that fucked around and found out bucket right now, right? Like they got big for their britches, as my parents used to say. Yeah, smoking spaceman is right. It's a general assessment of the space. I have people that will literally be my bestest buddy to my face. This has happened several times this year. My bestest buddy to my face turn right around and not necessarily talk shit, but they don't act as my friend. If you're my friend, you're my friend, and I tell people that's my friend. Most of the time, conflict of worldviews does not end in online drama, rather blown up egos and minor disrespect. A herd behavior like kids in classrooms. You're not wrong, Anonymous, or our Anonymous one. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing that properly. Ahimsa, I hope you're still here. It's been such a long time since I've seen you in the chat. But when you're able to step away, you gain perspective, right? You look around and you see that when we're looking at one thing and we're fully able of calling this person out for being something, we're not willing to call out this person for it, or we cope and make excuses for that person. It is happening everywhere. It is a global phenomenon. We're at an all-time high level of cope, ladies and gentlemen. Most cope ever, all over the world. Stepping back, as I have been forced to over the last couple of weeks, has given me some perspective. It's given me some range, if you will, right? A breath of air. When I first started competitive shooting, like seriously, back in like 2012, there was a guy who got this guy from Oklahoma that shot a lot, and he would take 2 weeks off every year and not touch a gun, not shoot anything, not watch any content, nothing. And he did that because it gained him perspective, and he came back and he looked at things a little differently, right? And I've been kind of torn myself personally because, on the one hand, I don't really have an issue personally with flow state. I like Rob. I consider Rob Noor a friend, and I think that those guys, ought to be friends, but they're not. Their personality differences are just not going to be friends. Um, I don't understand really the beef between some of these guys, right? And I have been trying to kind of not thread the needle, but I've been trying to just keep everybody aware of where I'm at on all of this. To their credit, nobody has attempted to make me choose sides. That would be a mistake on their part. But what I do see is I do see these lines drawn. And, if you are in this camp, you can't go watch this show, or if you do watch that show, then you're being disloyal, right? It's fucked up, guys. This is fucking TV right here, right? Like I don't. While I know a bunch of these people personally, and I've met them in person, when we're online, it's online. I think my wife just got home. I think I just heard my car pull in. Yeah, it's not true friends, right? Um, I don't know. I have a little bit more perspective. Also, having going through what I just went through with my mom passing, and what we're going. Raging Patriot sends in $2 and says, "Hit the like button, sub, share, and send money now." I like it. I like the energy. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yes, please send money. I think this is the key point. And this is kind of where I was headed with all of this. It's a lack of there's a lack of maturity. Too many can't grasp that a person can be friends or associated with people outside of one another's tribe. It's true, but there's another aspect of this, I think, that and I'm not again not commenting on any individual, and I'm not singling anyone out. It's if you're sitting there in your head going, "Well, I don't do that," you probably fucking don't do that, right? But there are a bunch of people who are doing it, and there's a bunch of people who don't know shit about a subject, but will literally back the person just because they're buddies. So, um, at any rate, yeah, send the money. Send the money. Thank you very much. Okay, Seinfeld never got mad that the audience, when they went to watch Friends, sure, parasocial relationships destroying people's brains. True, that's true. Again, I don't. I just think that I've gotten, I've had a little bit of time away, and I've had some things happen in life, and I've watched how people have reacted to that, uh, in real life and on the internet. I just find it very interesting. Um, and I'm going to go back to like the based Oracle beef with Andrew, right? Based Oracle used to admire Andrew, right? Like he wanted to be his best buddy, his friend. Based Oracle was like doing everything he could to be Andrew to some degree. But then he got mad because Andrew didn't have time to talk to him, and Andrew's very busy. Based Oracle starts then pushing his weird ass value system onto Andrew, and noting where Andrew falls short of that. And this is something we all do, and something we need to not do. I don't push my value system on other people, because my value system, to be honest, is mine. It's not yours. And your value system is not mine. And that's what makes us individuals, to be honest. So when Base Oracle did that, he then began to hate the very person that he admired so much. And that led him to just basically destroy his entire reputation on the internet. And was he a bad guy? No, I actually don't think so. He was one of the first interviews I ever did as a streamer. Went on his show. It was I think it was like episode 3 or some shit. Like no shit. That's what happened, And we had a pretty good communication, right? I thought he was a little bit weird, but I can think people are weird. That's no problem. It's just that because he didn't get the thing that he wanted in the way that he wanted it, he just started hating Andrew. The same thing happened with Imperius. Imperius loved Andrew, absolutely loved it. Became a member of the Crucible, was all about everything. And then for whatever reason, he starts hating Andrew. I'm picking on this because these are well-known examples. There are many other examples I could use, but these are well-known examples. Almost everybody should know who Imperius is. Imperius did the same thing. In my case, Jack, just another Canadian, right? Just another Canadian came in, loved me. I was the coolest dude ever. Until I wasn't. And then he talked shit for days. Right? Still does. I hate that guy. That guy made some that guy really fucked up because he made some extremely, extremely disgusting comments about Andrew and Rachel and other people. And I didn't like that. So all of this to say, right? This, I don't want to feel like I'm rambling here, but all of this to say that we will accept to some degree, or it seems like there are people that will accept behavior from this person over here. They have a whole different standard for this person over here. I always question those people. I question their motivations. I question what they're doing because that's not evenly applied. And I'll pick on Andrew again here. And I will tell you that as near as I can tell, Andrew literally applies the same standard to everyone. I do my best to apply the same standard to everyone. I fail often because I'm human and I'm a dick, but I try. This isn't about me specifically, but I'm just using myself as an example. And I think that you folks out there watching right now that are listening to this and will listen to this on the VOD, when you're driving down the road and you got nothing better to do. When you're listening to this and you're thinking, I don't do that. I bet you do. I bet you do. I bet you have a friend that drinks too much, but you don't call them on it. But you will literally sit there and condemn a drunk driver for crashing into a telephone pole. You'll talk endless amounts of shit about the person who hit a telephone pole, but your friend who drinks and drives home, you're not going to say anything to that guy. Or if you do, it's like, well, I know him. He's my buddy. What can I do? You know what you can do is you can say, hey, don't fucking drive, you dumbass. Right? We're all inconsistent. I am inconsistent to a large degree because I am who I am. What's interesting to me is people expect me to be nice and polite and a bunch of other things that I'm not. I've said since day one I came on the internet and started doing this, I am not a nice person. My default setting is violence. My default setting is to call you a dumbass motherfucker and fuck you up. That's my default setting. Fortunately, I've learned some self-control. Fortunately, I've aged a little bit. I've mellowed just a hair. I'm still not a nice person. I don't think I'm a particularly good person. It's interesting to me that people think that I am a good person. But then again, I think most people are not good people. I think most people are probably, they need to work on it. I need to work on it. I have standards. I have standards. Those standards apply to fucking everybody. Those standards they're meaningful to me. Clover Tack I think that line's from the 70s, my man. He's not good, he's just good at it. That's probably true. Potato, can you hit me on Discord and I'll throw you a link out? The interesting thing is that for some reason, how to put this? For some reason, my camera's out of focus, and I probably need to focus it. For some reason, there's a lot of people who think that um, that their opinion, their outlook, in the grand scheme of things, means jack shit to me. Well, sometimes, sure, I want people to think of me in a good way, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is how I view myself, and if I approve of my own actions, and if I know that I'm acting in good faith, and if I am right with my God, and if I am correct in the things that, if I believe in the things that I do, if I believe that I'm right, and I can sleep at night with no guilt, then I honestly don't give two flying fucks what anyone thinks of me. And I'm never gonna. It's true, Clover Tack. Most people have not one clue about the difference in subjective and objective. It's the whole my truth mentality, and it drives him nuts. I agree with you. But it's not just the my truth mentality. There's a lot more going on here. The same dudes who will sit there and go out to a bar and try and score every Friday fucking night are the same dudes that'll sit there and talk about women like they're whores. That's wrong. You're a piece of shit if you do that. You just are. What's up, Glenn Lawrence? How are you?
What up, Grid? You summoned me
I'm
here?
going to focus my camera. So I'm going to drop off cam for a second. Talk to people.
What up, people? What are people doing today? Are you peopling? Are you doing what people do? Are you, I don't know, taking shits? People? What? Why are you putting me like this? Like, what?
I like to put people on the spot sometimes. It's just a thing I do. Hey, see, the focus is so much better. I don't know why it just randomly kind of does that. So
Yeah.
You've been listening to the show, Glenn?
No, I was taking care of some work stuff.
Oh, okay.
What are we talking about? All I'm doing is responding to your message. Come up here. Okay.
Well, I was like, well, I didn't want you to be like, I didn't want you to feel left out. I've also got the potato coming up here in just a few minutes. As soon as I'm assuming he just needs to get his gear set up.
Who's the potato?
He's the potato.
Is there somebody that goes by the name Potato?
I believe it's Proto Potato or something like that.
Oh, it's not like it's not like a dig at like Sarah or like like a
no. It's a no.
Okay. I thought you were just calling. I was like, I don't know.
No. He's from he's a former Mormon from like out in Utah in that area. So
gotcha.
He says he's working on it. The Potato X. What's up, Arthur Daya? Good to see you in the chat.
Arthur Daya, how you living?
Smoking Spaceman says, Glenn, I got a question. Don't have to answer. What happened to the nonprofit?
Nonprofit is still going. Like we are, the nonprofit could only fund itself as much as the money that I fund it. So I mean, it's not like there's been a plethora of donors donating to the nonprofit. But no, we're still active. I'm just the one that's like keeping everything above water, so it's functional. But that's about it. I mean, can't really do much without support. I mean,
Hmm.
that's just kind of how it is when it comes to the
Yeah.
nonprofits. And you know what's funny is like and I've talked to other male like nonprofits. I was talking to this one guy on X, and he has a pretty big nonprofit out of Alabama, and he was telling me, he's like, you know what? People will give money to kids, women, cats, dogs, birds, penguins, cheetahs. They'll give money to cheese. They'll give money to everything. As soon as you say give money to men, they'll be like, why? Because we just
Yeah.
expect men to be
There's
able
some
to
truth to that
perform.
for sure. There's some
Yeah.
truth to that. So Glenn, basically what I was talking about is, well, first of all, I led off with that, obviously I've been very busy. I haven't been on a ton lately. I was even late tonight. I was supposed to start at 8. I didn't start until almost, I think it was 8:30 or so. Hey, it's the potato. What's up, man? And when I came in, so I've been in kind of a mood today. I know you and I talked earlier, and I was not really in a mood, but was kind of in a little bit of a mood
Like
today.
when I talked to him, y'all, he was in a good mood. So what did you guys do to him? Because when I last
No,
time I
no,
heard from
it
him,
wasn't those
he was
guys. No, no,
he
I
was in a
was.
good mood.
No, I wasn't. I just, it's just, I've, uh, I just don't have a lot of time anymore to spend online, but I get to reflect on a lot of this stuff. And it's just this, I was talking to Wicked Wally earlier, and one of the things that we were talking about is how in this space it's gone from we're all kind of united to make people better to a bunch of splinter factions where it's mostly what I see is it's how much you agree with me and if I agree with you even this much, no matter what all the any dumb shit you say, I just don't care about it, right? And I think that that's bullshit. My personal opinion. I think that well, I have standards, right? I mean, you know this. I have standards. You're either in this standard, or I call you on it. And I use the example of my buddy Tyler, average debate enjoyer. I think he's much sharper and much more effective a debater when he's not smoking pot than when he is smoking pot. And I
I mean,
keep
isn't that for anybody?
well,
Like
sure. I just harass him about it because I think that he knows this. He's making the choice to not do that. But I have a standard that I'm going to help my friend as much as I possibly can. Now, I'm not going to go over there and smack him around and take the pot away from him. That's not my fucking job. But my job is to say, "Hey, dumbass, you're getting buried in these debates because you're high, and if you weren't high, you would do better." And it's my job as his friend to say that, but not in a mean. I mean, it will come off mean because that's just me, but um, but it's not mean spirited. I'm not trying to hurt his feelings. I'm trying to show him what what the way is, right? And then when Wally and I were talking, we were talking about how, and you and I've talked about this over the last couple of weeks as well. Actually, we've talked about this for about a year now, and I don't know why it's just on my mind today. But there's this in this space. There's not a double standard, fucking standards, and it's whatever someone looks at as being cool. That's what they're cool with. Cool, they can do whatever they fucking want. They turn a blind eye. Oh, this guy over here kind of does it. They call him on it, right? Or whatever. So, and I'll use the example of the whatever whores, right? So this girl over here, the same exact guy, the same exact motherfucker that'll call a woman a whore for throwing down 100 bodies will go out every Friday night and Saturday night, and he'll go to the barn dances Sunday evening trying to get laid. That same motherfucker that's calling these women out, calling them whores, is out whoring. That there's a name for what they're doing that's called whoring. That's the actual name of it. And so I just, the hypocrisy in this space is when you back away from this space for a few days and you come back and you start listening and trying to catch up, what the first thing you notice is the massive amount of hypocrisy and bullshit. And you know me, man, I am who I am. I'm just gonna call it the way it is, right? Like that's just who I am. What do you think about that, Tato? You're muted, sir. You're muted. You're
Well,
muted.
I will answer since Mr. Potato's not
Potato,
able
go
to
down
answer.
to where it says mute and make sure your mic is selected.
I mean, great. I've been saying this for a while, and I think you've known that. I was like we have fallen away from principles. What happened to principle? Right?
That's true.
Like, it was whether you lied a little lie or whether you lied a big.
He'll be back. Oh, wait. Where'd he go? I thought that was you. All right. So
Whoa.
There he is. He's back already.
What happened?
I don't know.
What'd you
were
do,
talking
Greg?
and then you weren't here. You hit the wrong button.
I didn't even touch anything.
You had to touch something.
It wasn't me.
That's exactly what you said, and you got a kid to show for it.
I got two.
Potato, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Okay. Down by where it says mute button, there's a little diamond shaped tab. You click that, select your mic, make sure that's all good. Are you on? You're not muted on my side. Try going out and coming back in. For some reason that needs to happen sometimes. But all right, Glenn, continue forward, man, my man.
No worries. But yeah, like there's lack of principles. It's just really that's what it comes down to in integrity. We give people a pass because we like them or we think them cool or we think that, well, they didn't really mean it that way, or we try to infer what they meant, or we try to minimize what they do because they are our friend or they're aligned with us. And by doing so, it shows people that we don't really have integrity. Our integrity is on a sliding scale, right? It's subjective at times. It's
Let
not.
me see if we can hear the potato.
Can you hear me?
Got you, brother.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. I thought I had it.
That's all right. It's all right. Well, Potato, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with your Grid. We really need to get back to accountability between each other. If we can't call our friends out, who's going to call us out? If we can't take the constructive criticism from our best friends, who are we going to be able to take it from? We need to get back to accountability. We need to get back to self-respect, right? If you respect yourself enough to realize that you're doing wrong, you're going to take it with the heavy heart that the person is giving it with, right? It's not like we like to call people out. I don't, at least. I mean, I'm still going to do it because I'm a dick like yourself, but it's all in good spirit. I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to make sure that you're doing well for yourself so you're healthy, your long life, you can give back to your kids and the next generation.
How about calling yourself out? So I'm going to give you an example. So this weekend, I went and shot a match, and I did not shoot at 2 targets, and I knew that I didn't. The RO, when he was tabbing up the score, he either didn't see it, he forgot about it, whatever. And I told, and on video, you can hear me saying, I didn't shoot at those targets. And I'm like, and he's like, you didn't? And I'm like, nope, guaranteed 100%. We can watch video. I didn't shoot at those targets, and I'll just own up to it. And so I think that even personally, you have to have the balls.
That's integrity.
Women, the ovaries, to be able to stand there and say, yeah, I fucked up. I know you didn't know that I fucked up, but I fucked up, and I hold myself to that same standard. This is actually what I think happens. So what I think happens is somebody hears something that they agree with, but they don't have the spine to actually do anything about it. And I'm sure Glenn sees this all the time over there in the red pill space. But they listen to all these things that they wish they could be, that they want to be very much. And so they start acting that way. But the part that they've missed is they haven't called themselves on it, right?
Well,
And
yeah.
and a lot of times they'll fucking lie, right? They will fucking lie. I have learned recently, and I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. Nobody probably knows this person, but I'm just not going to do it.
I probably know him.
But I recently learned that somebody who claims to have become a Christian, or at least they are claiming that they are on the path to Christianity, more than likely is lying about that.
Definitely know him.
Lying about it. Because everybody else is saying that, right? Like they just want to fit in. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? Like, that's crazy. Like, why? But then when you think about it, it's something that can't be proved. You can't ask. It's bad form to say, are you really a Christian? Or whatever. You can't call them out.
Is it bad form?
And that person is, and they're nice. I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but to me, it's kind of the ultimate bullshit, right? Why do I need to call out Nala Ray like that? Nala Ray's a great fucking example. That's a great fucking example. But look at Bonnie Blue. All right, that's a perfect thing. Look at Bonnie Blue.
But we're not talking about Nala Ray.
Nala Ray comes out and says, hey, I'm a Christian, goes through the baptism, does everything very publicly. Bonnie Blue comes out, or Lily Phillips, whatever fuck her name is. I don't remember.
Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue. They're two separate women, okay? Get your porn
I'm
stars
not up on porn stars, bro.
Well, you linked all their names. You knew all of their names.
I don't have a Rolodex with porn stars in it. I don't have that. So
you sure know their names. Just saying.
Well, I can't. I mean, you're around. I'm gonna hear their names. And so
of course blame me. This is what you
So which one? It was Lily Phillips. Lily Phillips goes out, resigns from porn, does all of that shit, becomes a Christian, and dis-a-fucking-peers. Now, which one do you think I believe actually became a Christian?
Lily Phillips, because she disappeared.
Lily Phillips, because she's fucking gone.
Yeah.
Right? And I told Glenn months before it happened. Glenn and I had a conversation on this very channel, and I said Lily Phillips could get off could put on a long skirt, a nice blouse, and a hat, and get off a bus in Nowheresville, fucking Kansas, and nobody would know that she'd been a porn star that took 1,000 dicks.
We both agreed.
What did we figure out? It was 157 yards.
First of all,
right.
She only took 100 dicks because she never did the 1,000. Okay, she got that semen eye infection thing. Didn't work out for her. And then we did say, like, it can't be Kansas, because you said in bum fucking Kansas, and I was like, yeah, but Flo lives out there. And Flo knows who she is.
That's true. That is true. We do have a local degenerate. It's like a local newscaster, but no, we've got a local degenerate. We'll know. But I mean, that's the thing, is like you don't know, right? It's on you as a human to hold yourself to a standard. So Glaire says he has names with a headshot so he can remember. That
is hilarious.
That's Rom right there. That's fucking like,
that's well, like what it is like, nobody calls anybody out because we're too afraid of them like not liking us, or we're too afraid of them not thinking we're cool, or and it's just like, me and Grit have gotten into arguments.
We
right?
still get in arguments. We will continue.
Yes. And here's the reason why is not because Grit is old and he's, senile and he's wrong because he's a boomer. Because that's totally part of the problem. But it's because we care enough about each other to call each other out when we think that they may have dropped the ball.
Right.
When you care enough about somebody, you're willing to argue with them. I'm not arguing with you because I think that I'm better than you. I'm arguing if I say something that I know that's going to probably upset you, that is a sign that I give a damn enough about you, the individual, to not let you continue down this path and fuck up. But if I don't care about you, like, I'll go, all right, fine, go ahead, go play tag in the freeway, go get hit by an 18-wheeler. I don't care what you do with your life. But if I actually give a damn, I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna be offensive to you when it needs to be.
Right. Well, and I think that that's a very interesting point. I think that it's very relevant. And one of the things that I know I try, and I see some others try, I think potatoes in this bucket as well, is if I don't like you, if I don't care about you, we will never argue because I don't care enough to spend the energy to say fuck you.
I'm not going to bring myself down to your level.
Right. It's not worth the effort.
If anything, I'm probably going to encourage you.
Well,
right.
I mean, so, you know, when the Italians used to say you're dead to me, they didn't mean that you were physically dead. They just didn't care anymore. Like you were lint, you were pocket dust, right? Like nobody give a fuck, right? And I think that this is one of the things that for some reason modernity has left behind, and we really have to understand this. If first of all, I try to care for most people to some degree. I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt people needlessly.
Right.
But at the same time, it becomes that is balanced with the supreme amount of I don't give a fuck. Okay.
A lot of
I don't want you to fall in front of the train, but I'm not going to jump in the way of the train to save you, right? Like I'm just saying I'm not going to push you because I don't care.
But I'm not going to go out there and save you either.
I may not, right? And so it's a very, you know, I mean, I'm being a little bit tongue in cheek here, but the reality is that you can actually really you can tell whose opinions matter to me, and I'm sure that you guys are the same way. Your opinion doesn't matter to me if I don't bother to respond or interact with you because I just don't give a fuck. Like I just don't care. Like you can say whatever you want, it doesn't matter. And that also goes with that actually also comes back to the lack of self-confidence that most young men and nearly all young women lack.
Well, it's because
I have supreme self-confidence, right? Like I know that everything's going to be okay. I know that you can't fuck with me because whatever you do, I'm going to come out like the other side. Like that's just the way it is. Like whatever.
Great. Because a lot of these young men have been raised like defective women, and they seek external validation like women. Like women, like if you notice, like on social media, since the rise of social media, likes and attention is gold in girl world. Like
it's true.
And guys have been the same. Guys are mirroring women behavior. They don't have internal validation. They don't know that like they are enough because of what they have accomplished. They know who they are. No, they are enough because they got 220,000 likes on a picture or a video of, you know, people saying that they're cool. That's how they know they're cool, because all these people tell them they're cool, right? Like, you know, and this is the problem. And I've written about this, and, you know, like if you are dependent upon the whims of the opinions of others to validate you, you have nothing. You are going to constantly be a dancing monkey to keep on maintaining that validation from them. But the moment that you do something that they don't like, that validation is gone. And then what do you have left?
Well, this affects all aspects of your life. I'm sorry, Potato. I don't know if you wanted to jump in there. I don't mean to cut you off. But this affects all aspects of life, right? Like this is something that I have a problem with a lot of, and I am shifting gears here, guys. I've said enough about the first. We're shifting in a second gear here. We're moving forward. And this affects a lot, especially young men, I think, more than young women, but I'm sure it affects young women too. I don't want to leave them out, but my experience is mostly that young men are really affected by this lack of confidence and lack of testicle fortitude. And basically, I talked, I'm sure that we've all talked to young men, students, whatever, that have, when you talk to them about what their plans are, what the future holds for them, they get to this point in life where they they sound hopeless. They'll say that they can't get anywhere, they can't get married, they can't get, they're never going to have any money, they're never going to own a home, and all this bullshit. And then, and that's very unnerving. And it's really just a gut punch to someone like me who's like, if my and well, I'm getting ahead of myself. And the biggest thing that bothers me is when they say that they don't want to get married because they're afraid that the women will leave them. They don't want to have they don't have a good friend group because their friends will betray them, and they basically they become these islands to themselves because they might get hurt one day, right? And they could lose all of their money to a woman because they get married, to get divorced, the woman takes everything, the woman accuses them of adultery or abuse or whatever, and takes all of their money. And I've said this a few times, that if my wife and I suddenly got to the point where we just couldn't stand the sight of each other, or we were having serious problems, and she just came to me one day and said, "Hey, we're done," and I'd be like, "Okay, cool." I would literally just move out, I would give her every dime. I don't want it. I don't need it.
Great. I think like not liking the sight of each other is a serious problem.
Yeah, it is a serious problem. If we got there, it would have already been a serious problem by then. But the point is that I don't feel the need to try and retain the things I've earned, because the thing is I can always go earn more. Right. I think this is something that sets actual men apart from pussies with dicks. Okay.
No. Call them Mitches.
I know you're trying to get that.
Bitches.
I know you're trying to get that copyrighted, but
yes,
I understand you want that as a slogan, but no, seriously,
we got to work here.
This is a really serious thing, because I think that if the last thing I worry about is losing anything. I made it once, I'll make it again. Starting over is meaningless to me. And the idea that the idea that I would fail at that is just so foreign to me, that when I've heard this now for the past 2 years that I've been in this space, and I've heard this over and over and over again, and I can't understand how this point of view. Now that's partially just my makeup is such that I just don't I don't even consider it, right. But I just don't. I just think that if you live in fear, you don't live.
Well, I mean, the Bible tells us, "I didn't give us a spirit of fear and sound mind." So, like, if you're afraid, you're playing in the hands of the enemy. Like, they want you to be. They want you to not reach your potential. They want you to not become successful, prosperous, or reach your purpose. Because they could keep you from your purpose, then they won, right?
Yeah, I think that it's an interesting dynamic, because when we're sitting here talking about relationships, whether they're husband wife or friend groups or all of that.
What about concubine?
I don't know anything about concubines. Plus,
those are biblical.
You're roboting.
I'm roboting. All right, I'll be right back.
But I think that it's a very interesting dynamic that we have now, in that so many men are not being men because they fear the loss of, quote, everything they've built, right? And I can't get. I understand it. I'm not saying that I don't understand it, but I can't get there with my mentality. My mentality doesn't allow for that kind of thing, right? But then again, I've already admitted that I'm just not the normal dude. But I think that somewhere in the middle there has to be a reality that gets us to where men can be men. Nope, you're good now. Yeah, it was weird. You just started like roboting out. Yes, Mr. Robano. So, and I think that this is one of the things that we have too much of out there is while I think that a good healthy fear is an asset, but allowing fear to dictate the course of your life is not living at all.
Yeah. I run across this problem a lot in the space that I tend to cause the most problems. And it's obviously the red pill space. And the reason why I run into this problem, because you got young guys who have never experienced any heartbreak or never experienced any like significant loss. And they're already operating in a framework that that puts them in a position where they're like they're chicken little. Like they're
So
like
Dan, before you move off that, do you think that if you've never had heartache, that you could really understand what true love and bonding and pairing really is?
no, I don't think you can understand it. I
If you're
think you have to
afraid
go
of that,
through
right? Like
Yeah.
being afraid of that, being living in that, having that like that fear holding you back.
Yeah, and I think like
Does that? I mean, that just fucks you up for life.
it does. Like trust me, I've been there. I've done that. Like I could write a book about it. Actually,
You
kind
should.
of have. I kind of have already. But like it's that heartache and that understanding what love is and what life is without love, that makes you appreciate it that much more. You treasure it. It's like it is your precious, right? Like you value it, and you're not gonna let it go by. You're not gonna just easily be dismissive of it when you're gonna be more responsible with it once you lose it.
Yeah, once you've lost it once, the next time you have it, you kind of hold on to it and treat it a little differently.
For life, you're gonna hold on to it and then
yeah.
Is
he roboting for you too?
Yeah,
he's roboting again.
Damn it!
You're roboting. I'm sorry, man. Potato, what do you think about this? And also, Kissy Cat, welcome to the chat. It's been a while since I've seen you here. Good to have you back. What do you think about that, Potato?
So,
where are you at on this?
That's again going back to self-respect. As far as I'm concerned, we need to bring back self-respect. If you respect yourself, you're going to automatically want to respect others. You're automatically going to want to call yourself out. You're automatically going to want to call out others. You're going to automatically want to bring that accountability back to civilization and society in general. And that's why biggest thing I'm pushing or trying to push is bringing back self-respect, because it really boils down to that. We've lost the idea of what respect is actually means.
So all right. So do you think that young men and young women can actually know and understand what love is without having gone through some form of heartbreak and kind of, the initial fall in love and then or think you're in love and then have your heart torn out and stomped on the ground and given back to you with dirt on it, kind of thing. Do you think that without that you can really understand and truly value a relationship and love and all of and romance and all of that, or do you think that it could go either way?
Kind of, that's going to probably, obviously we're not going to want to talk about a monolith, right? There's going to be outliers and everything.
Yeah.
But
and obviously this is all situational. What tears one person's heart out is a glitch to another person, but what doesn't even register could be the end of the world to somebody else. So
sure. And I do agree with you. You kind of have to go through that feeling of loss, feeling of, it's like when I was a young kid and I was learning how to work, right? My mom made me work for $1 an hour. And this was way before, minimum wage was, what it is now and things like that. So there was a little leeway, but still $1 an hour, you learn the value of $1 really, really fast. You earn $1 in that hour and you're going to learn the value of that really fast. And so I agree with that. We need to have that time with someone in order for you to really, truly understand that. But we all kind of go through that as kids and our parents, right? Again, I had some disagreements with my father and I was kind of the stress relief of sorts. And we've gotten past that in our older years, but there's still some feeling, right? And so for each person is going to be different, but I fully agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Glare from the chat says, how much do you think this is? I'm assuming this is, how much do you think is this new lack of self-respect is because people don't get hit in the mouth, so they don't understand boundaries? Once you learn that, you then apply it to yourself. In other words, the pussification of young people. So I actually agree with this. And there was I really bemoan the idea that, that while I don't encourage bullying, I understood its usefulness in society. And while I don't necessarily condone fist fighting in for grown men, I certainly have much less of a problem with kids learning what it feels like to hurt someone. I mean, I could go into an entire rant on how since we've put these, I mean, I have a whole show that I'm going to do at one point about how when Carter in the 80s gave into the teachers union and established the Department of Education. Did you know that we were #1 in education in the world when that happened? Since that happened, we outspend more than any other country on education. And we are not even in the top 40 in education as far as quality. And the top 40, okay, we wouldn't even show up on Rick D's weekly countdown. You understand?
We're dating ourselves there, Grid.
I'm old. But we wouldn't even show up. And a big part of one of the things the Department of Education did is they took away corporal punishment, paddling, they really went in and they said, hey, these kids can't be fighting anymore. Even after school, if you get in a fight on the way home from school, that's a huge, that's a big deal legally for you and your parents. And so, and what that does is it does remove the safety. You've removed all the safety mechanisms from life, right? Now you've got an active warhead that doesn't know its potential. Like I had to have of course my son blew up. My son was like small and he got big. He's like 6 foot 190 muscle. This dude rock climbs, like hangs off of things on his fingertips. And I had to have a talk with him. I'm like, dude, I know. And of course he's a teenager. So he's getting all the hormones and the anger and the angst and all of that. And I had to have a talk with him and tell him, dude, I understand. You're a teenager. You're 14 years old. Now he's 15 and he'll be 16 in a week. When we were having this conversation, he was he might've been 15. I think he was still 14. I'm like, dude, if you hit someone, you're going to hurt them. Like, this is not, this isn't you play fighting anymore. If you hit somebody, it's going to really hurt them. And of course, again, he's got all of the hormones and everything going on. He has the typical, to me, it's typical, I guess, in modernity, it's sworn off, but, just, he has, a little bit of rage here and there, right? Teenage angst, and I had to tell him, man, you're in a position where if you hit somebody, even like not really meaning it, just playing, you're going to really hurt them. And it's going to be really serious. I'm like, you can't play like your friends play. You know how bad, you know how weird, Glenn, I don't see you in the back, buddy. You're not in the back. I don't know where you are, but you're not in the back. He's literally like texting me. He's in the chat.
He's in the chat.
I'm like, I'm looking. You're not there, bro.
But it's funny. It's funny that you're talking about bullying, because I was actually going to be covering that on my stream on Sunday. Maybe not this Sunday, but one here coming soon. Because where I don't believe we need to bring bullying back, we need to come back to some kind of a shame. And we're shaming bullying, right? We're shaming bullying. And so we need to stop shaming bullying and allowing that shame to happen in school a little bit, so that they understand, like you're saying, the warhead that don't know their own potential. They don't know the potential of the hammer coming toward their warhead either. That's the biggest thing.
And they don't understand the punishment scale, right? So if you actually hit somebody, like let's say some guy pushes you, you turn around and you pop him in the lip. That's probably justified. I don't, my day in school, I would get a stern talking to. They probably wouldn't even call my parents.
Exactly.
But let's say that it was, that I punched a kid in the mouth for no good reason, because in the hall he looked at me funny. Well, that's going to give me that's a different thing.
Right.
And I understood early on that the idea of what the escalation of punishment, right? And I don't think that kids these days really do. And you're right. It's a armed, you have, especially when you have a teenager or a young man in his early 20s or whatever, you have an armed nuclear warhead. Yeah, that's me. I'm sorry. Glenn sent me a screen. Oh, there he is. He's back. There he is. He's back. You were in the back until just now. Literally, as soon as you came in, I popped you up.
Did you see the screenshot I sent you? Back the whole time, man.
It's not in that screenshot. I don't know what
That's funny.
How would I take the screen from backstage? Was it backstage?
Well, I'm telling you, you were not here on my screen at all.
I was a ghost then. I was a ghost.
You were on the wrong stream. You clicked the wrong link or something. I don't know.
That's funny.
Anyway, but yeah, so I just think that there's so many ways that we could go. There's so many paths we could go down, but I really, I was kind of, and this is a chill stream, so wherever you guys want to go, I'm cool. I just found it interesting that we have this level of, or I find it obnoxious and noxious. Those are two different words. One is one way. It's absolutely noxious the way a lot of people, men and women, in this space specifically, in podcasts, in these various chat rooms, will overlook people's actions because they align more or less with what they think. But somebody else, they will call out, and
they'll crucify them.
Yeah, they'll absolutely castigate them because it is wrong, and whatever. And I think that that's wrong. And I think that the way that we handle relationships, we've got into that a little bit. And I think that another symptom of this is how young men and young women, the way that they're taught to act towards each other now. I think that there's a lot of problems with that. I'm watching it right now with my son and his schoolmates, although thank God, and it's not as bad, but to some degree, I mean, you still have parents that are not winners that,
Well, I mean, I think the question people, especially men, need to ask themselves, because it's a pride thing involved in this, is like, do you want to win or do you want to be right? Because you may not be both. You may not always get to be both.
Still be here if I do that, but I don't
think
it's
you need to reboot your computer. I think you need to just cut the stream and then turn it back on. Like, go to your settings, like, like where it says like end stream, or like where it shows you where you're streaming to, right? And then just remove like untap YouTube, right? And then give it a couple seconds and then tap it back on.
It says we're back. Take a look.
Yep. I see this.
We're back.
Sure enough. You're back, Spunky Spaceman says. That was weird.
It was all Grid.
And now Grid Ones looks like he's frozen. Oh, there he is. Okay.
YouTube. Oh,
YouTube. Yeah, right.
Gosh darn. Small hat.
All the momentum just got sucked right out.
I know, right?
Oh, you were talking
all the
about
viewership left.
Man, masculine, and little Mitches running around like men, masquerading as men.
I think I was more talking about just how the level of accountability and the level of self-awareness seems to be like really all-time low kind of level.
Well, remember, Grid, when I was talking to you about this before, something similar to this. I was like, I try not to judge people off of like other people, right? But it's like if you know someone is doing something foul, right, and you hang around them, right, what does that say about you? Like, what should I think about you if you know the person that you are hanging out with is a bad actor, right? Like, this person is bad, right? Like, bad character or whatever you want to call it. Like, you wouldn't trust them further than you could throw them, or further than you could see them, or what, I don't know, whatever you want to say. And you keep them in your circles. Isn't that a reflection of your character?
Yeah, I mean, I think to some degree, right? So like, yeah, but I think that I think more important to that than that is if I choose not to be upfront about the standards I have and holding people to a level of
expectation or standard,
whether it's professionalism, whether it's honesty, whether it's integrity and personal relationships, whatever it is, if I'm not willing to hold people to a standard, then I can't be surprised when those people don't hold me to a standard and don't care that I meet a standard, and honestly don't care if they meet my standard. Right?
Yeah, like, so like I have this rule, like and I've had this rule for a long time. Like, I will not get into business with somebody that I know that will cheat on their spouse, right? Because if you're going to cheat on the person that you claim to love, right, you will definitely cheat on me. Okay, you will definitely cheat me in business, right?
You will definitely throw me under the bus.
Well, no, it's not even throwing me under the bus. It's just like, if you're willing to do some shady shit behind the person that you loves back, you don't love me. So I know you're definitely going to be willing to do some shady shit behind my back if it's beneficial to you. So
right.
Like, so it's like a big, like, principle for me, right? And so I don't think guys have that so much anymore. I think guys are opportunistic in a poor sense. Like they will sell their convictions and their morals, not necessarily their morals, but maybe their principles for the opportunity of leveling up or success.
Well, let me throw this out there, and I've actually wanted to say this for a while. This is kind of an opportune time to say that.
Oh God, he's gonna yell at me.
So it's interesting to me that it seems to be the case that at one point in time, men understood their value in society, and their value was not um, to be a playboy or any of that sort of thing. The value was is to build a home, have a family, work work hard, and and be as successful, whatever that meant to that individual, as they possibly could. And that's what a man that was a man's true desire. And he didn't, and while men have always, obviously, always chased women and valued sex with women, the value of sex was less than it ever has been today. To say that modernity has put, and see where I did there, modernity, um, to say that modernity has put the pussy on a pedestal doesn't do it quite justice.
Well, it wasn't modernity that put the pussy on the pedestal. It was men that put the pussy on the pedestal.
Right, right. Well, modern men though, right? Now
Right.
you look back, and I actually had this discussion with my grandfather a few years before he passed. Back when he'd had a couple of beers in him.
Way back yonder.
Yeah,
Back in my day.
he had a couple of beers in him, and he was talking about how in his day, men did not
Didn't even
chase women
shave.
per se,
No.
right?
No, yeah. Men did not chase women. Women, I mean, I talked to you about this. We had
Women
this
threw
conversation.
themselves at men.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And see, that's where it's supposed to be. That's this whole like romanticized love thing that you need to go perform and peacock for her and prove to her that you are a upstanding, worthy, a marriageable man. No. That is all bullshit. That is all modern. Okay,
Yeah.
because there was a time that your job was to be on your purpose.
You got to see. Ma did it.
Ma.
Ma did it. Modernity.
Modernity.
Not dad-dernity. It was
Modernity.
fault.
But it's like, because you were supposed to be chasing your purpose. You were supposed to be focused on your mission. Like becoming that, you were supposed to be, that was your goal. And women would go out of their way to throw themselves at you.
Well, I'm going to be really crude, and I'm going to say that back then, most women could offer most men
was pussy.
was 3 usable holes and a good attitude.
And a good meal. Like she had to make,
no,
she had to know how to
cook. All women knew how to sew. All women that you literally.
But nothing had changed.
I'm going to sound really like a dick for saying this, but it is the truth of the matter. Is women were easily substitutable widgets in life because they all knew how to cook. They all knew how to cook. They all knew how to sew. They all knew, like, there wasn't like the reason that you married a woman was because you really liked her and you were really attracted to her, and she did the things that you liked. And again, women for the most part chased men, not the other way around.
Or you got them knocked up and their dad's looking for you.
And that was a common tactic that women used, right? Like that was
right.
That wasn't by act. Look, that wasn't an accident, brother.
Yeah, she held you in there.
When
you were trying to go out, you were trying to go out, and she was like, "No, you stay in here." And you,
no, she's like, we can go out on a date on the 19th.
I won't be in town until the 19th.
Because on the 19th, we all know what's going on.
It's gonna be a moon.
And so modernity has changed that, where now you have obviously feminism, and the feminist ideals.
Men created it.
They did. Weak men created it. That's beside the point. And ever since then, we've been kind of men have been very confused by this, right? Like honestly, I think that men inherently are confused by this because they don't understand it, right? Like they're like, wait, what? And
Well, they don't understand it because men have been they've been taught to believe what you say regardless of what you see. It's always it's not what you think. Remember those things? Like, your girl's cheating on you. It's not what you think, and it's like just that saying again, it is like that's what they tell you. Didn't I tell
I
you
mean,
I
I'm not
love
going to
you?
disagree with that. I'm just going to say that I think that the value system has been, while it's not been destroyed, and you do absolutely find, um, based women out there, women that,
Yeah. I had a
have
whole panel of
women that
them
have,
on my show today.
yeah, women that have, not just a traditional viewpoint, but um, what I would consider a more um, rational and more true to their nature worldview. I would say that. I don't know that many other people would. And that's
I
not to
mean,
say that women weren't strong. It's not to say that women were second class citizens or anything like that. I think that's a rhetoric that feminism uses to demonize men who try and talk about this and say things that are true. Because if you hear the truth, then you start thinking and being like, well, why did women chase men back as late as the 50s and into the 60s? Why did they do that? Well, because that's that's the way it worked, because
I
men
blame the
learned much.
boomers. Like, can we just be honest? Can we blame the boomers? Like, it was the boomers that pushed like the sexual revolution. It was the boomers that pushed like this, like commercial, like not commercialism, but like materialism at a huge commercial rate. Like they have like they broadcasted it. It was the boomers, like keeping up with the Joneses. Now, yes, people were materialistic before, but with during the boomer generation, you have television, you have radio, you have advertisement like everywhere. Like their previous generations didn't have the level of access to advertisement and seeing how other people were allegedly living like like they did then. And then as technology only increased, things got worse. But so I mean, I honestly blame the boomers. Like the boomers really fucked it all up. They wanted the free sex and love and alcohol and all that shit, and then
Well,
they wanted to,
I think you're being a little generous with the blame there. I think that the reality is that
it's all the boomers.
women, of the 60s reshaped feminism because because of birth control. And
Yes,
once men, and this is I think part of why I think this is part of why women chased men originally, is because, you know, basically, who men would do the right thing. So if a man got you pregnant, then he was going to marry you. He was going to do the right thing. And so it was women gaining access to a man that they may not have normally been able to attract any other way, right?
Right.
That sounds horrible, right? It sounds really bad. Say it out loud like that, but that
you
is the
say
reality. And
men
once
were
once that
trapped.
once that was lifted, once there was sex with less consequence, or the idea of sex without consequence, then that started the this um snowball effect to where we are today.
Yep.
And where we are today is
I,
that, women say they want X, but when they get X, they don't want any of it because it's not in their nature. And then when women don't want men to talk to them, but they also don't talk to men. It's very interesting dynamic that young people live in today. But I'm heartened by our young people who have had enough of this shit and who just want to live more traditional, more honest lives. And
Okay, so I knew I was right. So in 1965, about 20% of American women were on the pill. So the
Mhm.
women were like,
Mr. Roboto.
am I robot again?
Just calm down, take a breath, let the robot flow.
How about now? Am I still
That was an ass move. Oh well, keep going.
am I still roboting?
Not right now. We'll see if it continues.
How about now? Am I still roboting?
Oh no. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, he had to go to the sound effects.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to pick a sound effect, I'd rather be a monster, not a robot.
Oh, you're gonna do that, are you? Well, I can do it too.
Yeah, but I could do this.
That is the right voice.
Yeah, I guess I can do that too.
Oh, voice mods are fun.
Oh, where is it at?
It's always a woman's fault. She bit the apple first because nothing's ever enough.
But like we also have to realize that actually it was so, and I actually did this, like I did a study, I looked into this. Although so women pushed the sexual revolution in the sense of making it like the structure of it, making it feasible with the pill and abortion, but when it came down to it, men commercialized it and normalized it. Like, you know, you have like the Playboy, you have like Hustler, like they try to like normalize it, and they started sexualizing everything because you got to remember, men were running the advertisements at the time, right? So remember a Burger King or Carl's Jr. commercial? If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong on your face.
Your face, yeah. I hate that commercial.
So like that generation had a lot to do with it. And I don't think they realized, because they didn't necessarily have to face the consequences of their actions, but their children did.
Right.
And what I'm seeing now in the men's space, and this is why I'm so vehemently like disagreeing with a lot of the red pill rhetoric that I hear, is that they're like, to tell guys don't get married, or marriage is not worth it, or like when Andrew debated Rich Cooper, right? Like Rich Cooper's literally his solution. It was literally
fucked himself.
Yes, it's like cut yourself, go ahead and pay for her house, pay for her lifestyle, everything up front, but don't live with her, and live like next door in another house. That way you guys like are not seen as if you are married to the state, but you're gonna be on the hook for anything anyways. Like it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But like that's the solution these guys are getting. So no wonder they're nihilistic, and no wonder why they don't have any ambition or drive to do any better. I mean, you have to realize that sex drives dominion.
And as far as this conversation goes, I'm less concerned with drive and ambition than I am just upholding standards, like holding yourself to a standard, and more to the point, holding literally yourself to a standard and then everyone else to a standard. And I just froze. So
yeah, you did.
But
it's like you can't necessarily hold people to a standard that doesn't respect you, right?
Yeah.
Like it's people in your circle you could hold to a standard. And here's the other reason why I don't see guys doing that. They don't see the point.
Yeah,
what's the point?
I mean that's true, right? But we really have to understand at least from my point of view, it's best if we understand that my camera's not working. And
Grid, just turn
my
off your
camera's
camera, turn it
working
back on.
fine. My camera's working fine, but for some reason, this is
Hop down.
we're
Hop
having
back up.
we're having technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
At least he didn't robot 6 times.
That's true.
But you know, it's like interesting. It's like, I don't think guys see the value doing what is right anymore. Because they see it as, well, when you do things right, you don't get any reward. There's no reward for it. Like, women are not rewarding the guys that do the right thing. Actually, the guys
Right.
that do the right thing seem to be getting punished for doing the right thing.
Yep.
Right. And so they're like,
Yep.
well, why the fuck am I going to do the right thing? I might as well just like do what every other guy is doing and get what I want. And that's the problem with the red pill, because the red pill says it's amoral. Like it like, so whatever works. Like, don't let morality in come into your decision making. And I find that so problematic, because I go, well, because they'll say if you operate with morals, then that's emotionalism. And I'm like, well, morality is not emotionalism. I think morality is persistent and constant for men.
Fair.
Smoking Spaceman says, Glenn, men won't do that today because holding their peers to a standard results in a greater competition. Yeah, well, really what it is like, I think, like, in a way, if I hold someone to a standard, then they're gonna look at my skeletons, look for my slip ups, and they're gonna hold me accountable. And I don't want that shit, so I'm just not gonna hold them accountable. And I think that's weak. Or the other thing that I see is like when people hear about things like, well, that's not my problem. I have nothing to do with it. That's that person's life. I'm not gonna say anything about it.
Right.
Well, why not? Like, if you have a relationship with them, you know them. I'm not getting involved. That's that man's life. You know, it's like,
Yep.
well, if you break bread with them, if you consider them a friend, shouldn't you get involved? Because again, like, in a way, your friends are a reflection of you.
Yeah. Well, and again, like I was talking about earlier, it comes back to self-respect. If you respect yourself, you're automatically going to want other people to respect themselves. You're going to automatically want to show people respect because it feels good. You know what it feels like.
Yeah,
We just don't anymore.
And you're gonna want your friends to operate with the level of, you know, of respect and integrity and principle. Because how can you trust or rely on somebody that doesn't have, respect, integrity, and principle?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You can't really trust them. And I think that's why, like, male friendships these days are so shallow. They're very, if you notice, like, all right, how many friends that you have, like, that you have a real deep friendship with?
I have very few. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of that's because we see how guys are operating, right? Also that, and we don't socialize like women. Like, we don't need to have 35 friends and girlfriends and have this chat group where we're all talking like about Susan. Like, we don't do that.
Right.
But at the same time, like, guys have very few friendships. One, because they isolate themselves, but two, they find it hard to trust other men, because they know that, if the wrong man will get too close and he will use your vulnerability against you.
Yep.
And that's where I think a lot of guys are having a problem with. And there's no standard bearers. There's nobody saying, hey, this is how you maintain the standard. Like, even like Grid's always wrong. But Grid, when he's wrong, even though he's wrong, he'll stay committed to his wrongness because it's his conviction. You can't take anything away from Grid when it comes to him talking about his conviction. Grid, you're fine. You're not frozen.
Hey, you look good now.
Yeah, I think that's true. I am very often not wrong, and yet I will stick up for my convictions. The interesting thing is that when I am wrong, I can admit that I'm wrong. Very
I like
interesting, man.
Percy. Percy is right. Percy knows what's up.
That is Anson Knowles, who has a wicked cool
Is that his alt?
new alt. Yeah, well, he has an alt every
He has
week.
like 1,000 alts. He has like he creates a new alt a day.
I think he goes like a week and then he deletes his account and he's been kind of staying for. He's been kind of staying my conviction is for poor style. I was arrested by the fashion police. I mean, my wife would agree with you.
She probably would.
All the time is arguing with me about it.
That's
So,
funny.
But at the same, like, okay,
Go
of
ahead.
doing it, like, because I reference a specific incident, talked about before.
Mhm.
Somebody decided to yell at another man for a comment they made. I'm not having what about
We're getting like every other word.
All right.
plotting a
Yeah.
YouTube hates you, bro. What did you do to YouTube? I think
It was
you
all your
fucked up
fault.
YouTube's girlfriend.
You done it.
Am I better now or no?
Yeah, that's way better. Yeah.
For now,
All right.
What did you do? Like feel up YouTube's girlfriend or something? What's up with that?
I impregnated her.
There you go. That'll do it. That's why you was fucking with all of us tonight.
That's
So,
funny.
But
that's all right.
remember that incident that happened with what's the guy that used to do your clips?
Emmett.
Yeah, remember that incident where Emmett said something and somebody just lashed out and was like all theatric.
Yeah.
Like, let's say that individual was in the correct. That wasn't the way of handling it. The way that was handled was it was more virtue signaling, more like trying to show some level of moral superiority, and that's not how you address it. You know, if anything,
Yeah, I mean,
like,
but I think kind of what you're trying to get at is like, you know, for example, if I have a problem with Glenn,
he calls me and he tells me and he says, I never want to talk about this again.
yeah, to some degree, that's true. It's it's, hey Glenn, this is I really don't like that you did this, or hey man, I need to get your side on this because right now it's really pissing me off, or whatever. And I handle shit privately to start with, and I rarely ever take shit publicly unless I just honestly, if I take something public, that means I don't give a fuck about you or your cause or anything. Like
Or
at that point, it's just a joke, and I don't.
Or if it's something that you and I have already talked about, because like there's been times where, like,
Well,
you're
no,
like, no, I told Glenn this to his face. Like I was on the phone with him before, and like that's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, but if I don't do that first, right? So like, if it were like, I don't really know Potato that well, but he seems like a good dude. But let's just say the Potato,
You got to trust the beard.
was saying some stupid shit behind my back, or maybe he's like, haha, that guy thinks he's my friend or some shit. I don't know, whatever. Or maybe he called me, I don't know, fat fuck, or I don't know, whatever, whatever the thing is. And
no shot.
Yeah, no shot.
No shot.
And so
the worst one yet.
And so
I can't hit a barn.
Yeah. So let's just say that he's really public about it and everything. And I would not go. I generically wouldn't go private with that because I wouldn't have any respect there. See, that's the thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's a component that's missing, right? I wouldn't have any respect there. I would, and then I would largely go. I would just go full bore and be like, because it would be a joke to me at that point.
We have seen you do that.
Make things right. Like
we have definitely seen you do that before.
Because I'm not trying to fix anything at that point. You understand what I mean? Like I don't respect you enough to fix.
No, you trying to burn that bitch all the way down to the ground. You don't want no bridge
I
left
think that
over.
that's fair, right? Like I think that's if there's no. To me, it's not is it the right thing to do? No, but the right thing to do has left the building. And it's down at the bar. It's getting drunk. And, so now we're left without the right thing to do. So we just do what happens, so, and that's, and I've done that, um, that's that, after I went after Jack because, he talked about Andrew and Rachel and Glenn and a bunch and me too.
And you,
Yeah, and me, but I didn't really give a shit what he said about me, but he said, he's talking about people in a very specific and very fucked up way. And I went after him, and I still go literally every time I see him, I go after him because I don't care. So, and I agree with you, Smoking Space Man. The decline in community leads to a low trust society that can no longer rely on honor. And this is a problem
Yep.
that if you show me that you have no honor, if you show me that there's no reason for me to respect you because you don't respect yourself and you certainly don't respect me,
Right.
then we're weapons free, right? Like at that point, anything I want to do, anything I want to say is I don't feel anything about it, right? Like it's not even dust to me. It's not even dirt.
has there been anybody that recently you've gone that nuclear with or anything that I know?
Not that I've gone like super nuclear with, no.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Semi-nuclear?
I mean, if I did, I've forgotten about it. So the other thing is I forget about it right away and I just don't dwell on it. And I'm just like, fuck it.
This is true. This is true. Until somebody reminds you how
Yeah, just
fucking
remind me, oh yeah, I did fuck that.
like you remember you said that you told them they could go do you're like, oh yeah, I did say that.
What was that guy? Louis the Bachelor. I burned him to the ground.
Oh
That's
yeah,
funny.
you definitely burnt him to the ground.
Yeah.
But like even then, like
But again,
Like-
it was the same thing, right? Like he never came to me privately and said, "Hey, man, I just don't like you. Like I don't know what's going on with you, but I just don't like you, and we need to come to it. We need to exist."
you told him that you didn't like him to his face like twice. You're like, remember it was like, I think it was on Sarah's panel. You're like,
I'm not gonna lie and say that I like you.
And
I
that's
think it was
just
on
it.
Sarah's panel. You're like, I just don't fucking like you.
Yeah, I don't like you.
Oh, that was
And there's no
hilarious.
reason for. Here's the thing, though. That's fair. There are people that don't like me. I don't hang out with them. Right. For like 7 years, I didn't like my brother. I didn't hang out with him. You know, it's fair.
It's fair. Did similar with my brother.
Oh, Glenn has not seen the last night's Prime panel. Smoking Spaceman. If you throw me the link, we'll play it.
What happened?
Oh,
Grid, not
boy, here we go.
You tossed into
because
or grenade. What grenade did you throw in the panel?
it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, I don't believe you. For some reason.
Look, and to be honest, I wasn't. So what's funny is I was a troublemaker, and the other guy got caught all the hell. It's very funny. Smoking Spaceman, I'm watching Discord. Throw me that. If you've got the clip, I am all for it. We will make that happen. So that was funny. Yeah. So, and to kind of lay the groundwork, right? So we're having a debate about, it's supposed to be a debate about the REIT, the Real Estate something Act, where basically they're trying to prevent hedge funds and private equity from buying up single family homes. But it's a stupid law. It's not going to do anything but make Democrat voters feel good. And the reality is it's just kind of bullshit. And I said so. And I made the point that I am one of the slumlords of which you speak. I actually have a private equity fund that buys real estate and houses. That is something that I actively do. Now, is it 1,000 houses? No, but there's a bunch of people like me that own 20, 30, 40 houses that aren't going to that are we're really the driving force. And even if I did own 1,000 houses and to go buy another 1,000 houses, I would just create another company to do so. Like, what have you really done?
Yeah.
Right.
And so it was so it was a great. It started out. I kept trying to keep it like really cool, and just not allow it to devolve into like real honest to God stupidity. Unfortunately, it's Prime's panel. So
Oh, there's a link right there. He put the link in the
yeah,
chat.
I got the link. I'm trying to get rid of the chat block. Where's the? No, that didn't do it. All right, now I got it. Okay, so let's move this. I'm just gonna move this over here. There we go. And we'll play this for a second. It's not bad. And I gotta have somebody that's really good at clipping, make something awesome out of this. But anyway, so
Yeah, I wish I knew a guy.
yeah, I know a guy. He's busy though. It's hard.
Right.
Guy's
Aren't we
busy.
all?
He's always busy. And I respect the fact that he is always busy.
He wasn't too busy to make you an intro.
That's true. And that's a pretty kick-ass intro. All right. Here we go. You guys ready for this? Let me turn the volume all the way up. There we go.
You haven't. I have, and you've engaged in nothing. I don't care.
Asking you to please tell me what the threshold is.
Shut the fuck
What
up.
is it?
You have no
What's the
idea.
threshold?
You're actually just saying nonsense.
Hunter
Shut
couldn't
up.
give me the
I'm trying
threshold
to.
because
Shut up.
there
Hold
isn't
on.
one.
Nope, you're gonna shut
Well, I
up.
don't think that they're. I don't know if they're.
Shut the fuck up. I am trying
he
to actually
put
have
me
this
down,
conversation.
and now he goes after
Stop
this guy.
fucking distracting me. Stop it. Stop it. Shut the fuck up. Stop it. Okay? We're having this conversation. I'm not gonna fucking guess at whatever the fuck you're doing in your fucking apartment buildings. I have no idea. I hope it goes well for you. I hope it's profitable for you, right? But it's not what we're talking about. So stop fucking distracting me. Fuck. Any which way, back to it. All right, back to it. Lactoid. What did you have to say?
Prime, you gotta fucking calm down.
I feel like I got the judge
Don't fucking tell me to do that.
after.
Hold on, stop. Hold on. You haven't. I have, and you've engaged in nothing. I don't care.
Asking you to please tell me what the threshold is.
Shut the.
That's funny.
It's so good. Yeah.
Why did you make the black guy emotional? Like
He ended up
black
with-
men are emotional. Like they're feminine. Why did you make him emotional like that, Grid?
the other one, he goes after Hunter up in the corner, who's on his side, and he's like, and he was just like, all he did was say, "Prime, you gotta calm down, man." and Hunter was actually supposed to be on tonight. I don't know what happened to him, but he was supposed to be on tonight and with me, and I don't know. It was so just. He went after Hunter and was like, and kicked him down, and it was like,
What did you say
moved him from
before
the
that?
group.
Like, what set it off? Like, what was the thing that set it off before that?
You have to go back a little further. But
There was two apparently, because Smoking Spaceman said, "Here's the second one."
This is where he gets the other guy. So he's just, I mean, it's just Prime. You just have to understand. He's got problems. He's not, he's.
Grid needs to be the adult in the room. Is that what you're saying, Anson? He needs to act of age.
I was. I mean, shockingly, I was the adult in the room, which is that's pretty, scary in and of itself. But it was, I don't know, man. It was just so So interesting. All right, here's where he goes after the other guy. Now the other guy is actually innocent of all wrongdoing. It's actually my fault. I'm the one that started this whole thing.
Oh, I bet you didn't blame me either.
Any which way, back to it.
So I'm sitting down there
All
smugly.
right, back to it. Lactoid, what did you have to say?
Prime, you gotta fucking calm down.
I feel like I got the
Don't
judge
fucking tell me to do that.
after.
Hold on, stop. Hold on.
Oh boy.
Don't fucking tell me to do that. Say it again.
Okay.
Don't fucking tell me to do that.
Okay.
Hold on, you want to say something to me? Hold on, do you have something to say to me? Do you have something to say to me, Hunter? Yeah, you. Yeah, I'm fucking talking.
I think
to
you got anger issues. Yeah, I think you got to calm down.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. Moving on. Lactoid.
Wow.
I think you
I think
have
Gibbs is
anger
something that
issues. Okay, get the fuck out of here.
You know that reminds me of someone that pretends to be a shade too darker, but I just can't. The name escapes me.
It was just so bad. Yeah.
I know. I thought Gibbs like face palm was hilarious.
Yeah.
He was like,
He
"Oh, here
was
we
just
go."
like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on here? That was pretty terrible. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. A new public service announcement. I'll work on that. I
This
stirred the pot. I did all night. I was just like, I was building
And then just sat there.
I'm not even gonna lie about it because after the first few minutes, it was basically Hunter and I trying to have a good conversation, and Ollie and I trying to have a good conversation, and Prime just can't let go of the fact that it's private equity's fault that the housing is such a mess. And I'm like, well, no, not really. I mean, the fault is, that all of these, all of these houses are for sale. People aren't buying them. And so, they were talking about how when you have someone like me come in and buy these houses, it pushes the value down. And I'm like, I think that's a lie. When I go in and I buy a house, I remodel it, I make it clean. I'm trying to get the most money that I can out of that property, right? Like not only when I go to sell it, but also when I rent it, right? Like if new paint on the walls gets me a renter that's going to pay every month, that's a cheap investment, right? And so I'm like, you guys have this like slumlord idea of property owners, but I'm not. While I probably meet the criteria of being a slumlord, I'm not a slumlord, and I add value to the neighborhood. If anything, it's the fact I'm what drives the price of houses up, because I do add. I spend money on the houses. I make them look nice, and then that raises the rent, and then the house is worth more. And I don't think he liked any of that. I don't think, because it puts property owners in a good light. And then the other side was, so then they went into these, and I think this is what really set all this off, is this was right as they were trying to drive into the commercial side of it with apartment buildings, and how, he had this article where he had written this, or he had read this article, which was a hit piece. It was not factual at all. And it was basically saying that this swanky place out in the Bay Area had been bought out by private equity, and they raised the rent, and they had some staffing problems and things like that. And and there was, there were some people that complained about it. But when I looked at their Yelp review, people were praising the apartment complex, everything they did. It was like, it's cleaner, it's nicer, the people are great, it's expensive to live here, but it's so convenient, and it's not as expensive as other similar buildings in the area, and so on and so forth. I told Prime, I'm like, this is a hit piece. I mean, all you did was find a hit piece that fit your narrative, and that's what started that whole thing. is I was going after him on the idea that, first of all, the law that was passed had jack shit to do with apartment complexes because they are by definition commercial investment properties, and so the law wouldn't apply to them. They only apply to single family homes, which we weren't taught, which they didn't really want to talk about. They just want to talk about these apartment complexes and private equity buying them. And there was some funny shit there, like they somehow got a loan from Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae or whatever the fuck it is. And so they somehow got some loans that they probably shouldn't have, probably knew somebody at the bank or something like that. And Prime just wouldn't let it go, man. He just, to him, rich people don't deserve to be rich. Like, no matter what you did to earn it, you didn't earn it. Right. And I just kept pushing.
Sounds like a commie to me.
He is a fucking commie. And the thing is I kept pushing back. I'm like, hey, so, and actually Hunter, the lead up to this was Hunter and I were trying to have kind of a separate side discussion of, well, how, if I own 65% of the apartment buildings in a town, does that, does that make me the monopoly guy that can set and manipulate the pricing of these apartments? Does that mean that I have more leverage than the people who have 2 apartment buildings? I mean, I think I said I can see it both ways. I don't think that you're going to give me a satisfactory argument there. And that's when he started losing his shit. And that's what I told him at the beginning, Clovertack. I told him to stop being poor. Like, if you just stop being poor, all your problems would be fucking over. And,
but I'm black.
I identify as black.
and so.
Oh, was that too loud? I forgot the mute button was on.
Yeah, the mute button was not. But it was, yeah, that's right. Pinko Kami Meathead. I knew what you meant. But it was just a weird deal, man. Prime was just like he does this all the time where he just doesn't actually understand the concept. And then he tells me I don't understand the concept. And I'm like, as it happens, I'm literally in the middle of trying to buy an apartment complex now. Well, I'm not buying it. I'm going to invest with a guy who literally owns 65% of the apartment buildings in my town, the complexes. They're all over 100 doors, so I mean, the guy's got some serious money tied up in these apartments, and he does pretty well with it. And he's looking to buy another one, and we are looking to be part of that deal. And anybody could do that. Like it's not rocket science, It's but guys like Prime just can't get out of their own head that it's nobody's fault but theirs that they're in a situation that they're in. And he can't admit that. And so this is what happens. It gets super emotional. The guy that was on his side, that all Hunter did was say, dude, you gotta calm down. And he was even smiling.
No, it's you white men trying to keep us black men down. Okay, you guys been systemically putting pressure on us and shit, messing with our Kool-Aid. We don't even get great drink anymore.
Gotta get that great drink.
Just for that, no watermelon Kool-Aid in my building.
See, always messing.
You can't take the watermelon Kool-Aid.
Better not be touching my fried chicken and my Louisiana hot sauce.
Yeah. And we're replacing all Louisiana hot sauce with Tabasco. Yep, I said it.
So you really don't like us black folks. You like them Mexicans, huh? So you prefer the Mexicans over us. I see what you're saying here.
McElhaney's make the Tabasco. They're not Mexican at all. McElhaney, they're Irish, baby.
How many Irish words do you know that says Tabasco? That's a Mexican name.
It is a Mexican name, but the people that make that shit are Irish as fuck.
Anson is 5% North African. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I'm not going to stock grape soda. That's right. That's true. No grape soda.
You got a lot of sweet tea though, huh, Grid?
Yeah. It was a funny night last night. Like Prime was on a and I seem to have a unique ability to trigger that dude.
Apparently.
Yeah. It's great. I got a clip.
That's mighty white of you, Grid.
Yeah.
Mighty
Yeah,
white.
it's pretty Swedish of me, actually.
There you go.
Well, I want to
Why
go back to the
why
topic.
you gotta
real
be
quick.
all Swedish about this, man?
I want to go back to the topic real quick though.
Yeah, go ahead. Man.
So what ought we do as men? Because we've been talking about, first you hold yourselves accountable, hold yourselves to a standard, then hold those around you to a standard.
Right.
What is the actionable information that are we telling guys to do? Like, and how ought they hold each other accountable? Because I'll tell you this, like, I don't think you should ever do if they're your friend, you don't do it publicly. You just because now it's more of like it was a shame ritual. Like you're it's like you're doing it more. You're not really doing it to edify them. You're to look better than them.
Right.
Even if you don't intend to, that's the perception
effect.
Yeah.
It's a virtue signal of its own.
Yeah, I'm gonna virtue signal here for a minute. Just
here we go.
Oh, here we
Isn't
go.
this a set of perverse incentives for capital, right? Like the only reason they can buy these Blackwood's company, right, is because there's a bunch of debt, right? They do it through debt financing, and they get Blackwood's company to buy to make the loan. So
Chuck, in
Blackwood's
Tennessee,
company
that's
first was
exactly fraud.
profitable, but now it's underwater because now it has to service all these loans that the new owners are forced to buy. Right?
Well, let me give you a real world
and-
example of that very thing.
Don't let me please.
I mean, if you want the answer to the fucking question, I'll answer the fucking
no,
question.
hold on. I want to
All
say
right,
the question.
that's
I'm
fine.
going to say
All
it,
right, that's
and
fine.
then I would love to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what all you have to say. Anyway,
No, you don't. You don't want an answer, Prime. You're just sitting there preaching.
motherfucker,
I will
I
give
wanna
you
say
the
the
fucking
question,
answer. I can
and
give
then
you
I
a
wanna
real
hear
world
it.
example.
Motherfucker,
Right
I want to
fucking
say
now.
the question, and then I want the answer. Right? So listen.
You've
to the
asked the question.
No, I
Okay.
haven't.
All right.
No, I
All right,
haven't. I spent the
whatever.
entire time describing.
Yeah, it really goes on this long.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
so most of what you described is called fraud, and you don't front load
That's
in
not fraud.
as a buyer. You can't front load in profit. No bank will allow that to happen. I deal with companies. I literally buy companies, and that's not how any of that shit works.
I cannot get back that minute and a half ever.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that crazy how long he takes? And it's like 20 minutes. He's just sitting there rambling. But do you see how quickly the trigger happens? You see?
Well, I mean, have you noticed, like, like on space, like when you're having panels and everything, people have like the most shittiest, like I don't know, respect, or like what's the word I'm looking for? Like decency. They cannot let the other person finish their fucking sentence. They have to jump in and say whatever they're gonna say. And it's like no etiquette, nothing. It's like, so it's kind of like that too, though. Like they have to like super talk a bunch, and they have no fucking like etiquette when it comes to how to communicate with people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
But I find that to be with more emotional men than anything.
and yeah, I mean, and it's it is
us
the
stoic
emotional
guys,
men,
we
right?
kinda
It
wait.
is the men that have been,
Us stoic guys, we wait and we say, "Are you done?" Are you done?
You done yet?
Do you feel better? Did
Yeah.
that make you feel good? Okay. Now listen. And then we lay into them and say like 2 sentences and that's it.
Yeah. Man, I got to tell you, it's just one of these things where I think that there's so many different factors, but at the end of the day, standards, holding yourself to a set of standards, holding other people to a set of standards, holding, um, you know, your values and and what you actually truly are as as whether you're a stoic guy, whether you're not, whether you're just kind of free flowing, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to judge any of that, but
I'm
it
totally
does
judging.
seem to be the case that this happens a lot with these kinds of things happens with people like Prime that just um will just lash out and just cannot take criticism, cannot take someone saying anything about them, and they just have no ability to, in that moment, just shut the fuck up, let the words happen, and then move on, right? And you can see that after these things happen, at least in Prime's case, he gets over it, and he's just like, he has that flash of anger, and then he's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And how many of it? I mean, look, I'm just gonna address everybody, chat, people watching this, 16 months from now on the playback. How many of you know people like that? I think all of us know people that do the exact same thing day in, day out. And those people are hard to live with. They're hard to talk to. They're hard to interact with.
Are we
And
supposed are we like calling out names? No. Okay, I'll be quiet.
I don't
I
need
thought,
that list
I thought it was
from
confession
all the
time. I thought
people
it was
that-
confession time.
Yeah, I no, we don't need a list from all the people from third grade all the way up till now that have done you wrong, Glenn. But I'm sure at some point somebody will want that list. But yeah, I just think that when I guess there's a seriousness that a lot of people just don't seem to have. So, what's up, TVT? Good to see you.
I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something profound and enlightening.
Mm-hmm. I did you wrong, Anson. I'm sorry.
Oh, now I remember. There was a time like when guys like, it's not only like holding them accountable about like being the man, like they ought to be like a standard, but it was also like you wouldn't let like your friends date the hoe. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, bro,
yes,
you're going with Saddleback Stacy. Like she rode everybody Saddleback, like
the town bicycle.
Like, yo, like everybody got a spin with her. Like she had more spins than the merry-go-round. Like, you don't want to get like, I mean, that was a thing. Like, like, look, bro, like I get it. You could get your rocks off with her, but don't take her home to your mom. Like it was like, a level, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a level of like, standards you would hold your boys to, like, and look out for him. Now it's like, oh yeah, he wants to go bang her and marry her. That's cool as long as he's happy. Like there's like no fucking care or standards.
Did you guys see that that recent news story about that guy that was a virgin? He married a very promiscuous woman. I think Brian Atlas shared it.
Yes,
and everybody's been sharing it.
My wife was a hoe before.
She was a hoe. She waited until we got married, and it's like, dude, do you really believe that? Like, oh man, come on.
Now, okay, so here's the thing. Like, this is what he doesn't get. One, that's not his story to tell, right? And that's her story. I mean, although that she's publicly out there about that story,
that is harsh. Ouch.
Prime should be suing P-Hub. Ooh. Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness, rough, man.
No, thank you.
Uh,
But like, you know, he shouldn't have done that. One, he just made himself look like super cuck like, right?
Mm.
Like
yeah.
it
Oh yeah.
didn't
Bad.
it didn't make anything look good. I mean, you're trying to, and that's it. And what's the other thing? Like you see her behaviors, and you're trying to make it like this whole prodigal son story as if it's a good thing. Like it's great that she, you know, she repented and she's no longer that way anymore. But you don't got to tell the story, bro.
Right.
Like,
Right.
no,
Just keep it to yourself. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a success story because it's not. It's really not.
and really what they're doing, like they are celebrating this archetype of woman now, that she gets her back blown out and she does a gangbang in a bukkake, and then she finds herself in church, and then that's the one you're supposed to marry, guys. Like,
Exactly. She's reformed. She shouldn't be held accountable for what she did.
no, she's
She's been-
deformed after what
Exactly.
she's been through.
Exactly. You know, God can forgive her. We don't have to forget about that. We can
God forgive
forgive
her.
the actions, but
That doesn't mean that she gets to avoid the consequences, because the consequences could mean that she is unmarriageable.
right.
It could mean that.
But it
could
doesn't
be.
have to. It doesn't have
There's
to.
the cucks
either.
out there for
This
sure.
This is where, like, I really think that the guys that are doing that and the girls that are doing that, they're coming out like, I'm a born again virgin. Like, they're really doing themselves a disservice and other women a disservice that do come from that lifestyle or something, and then make the change. Because now it's like every girl that says that she became a Christian is all, here's another born again virgin.
Yep. Exactly.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's after 11 my time, which means that I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Been great, guys.
No,
Really
that's
had a
not
lot
what
of
you're
fun.
gonna do. I know what you're gonna do.
Except
Yeah.
the whole issue that we had with YouTube trying to take me down, trying to silence me.
It's because you're white.
It is. It's racism. And
Smiley white.
That was
And you know what? Prime was getting his stream reparations.
somehow that actually kind of makes sense. But yeah, look, there's so much. This is a subject that I could talk about a long time, because I really believe in people taking accountability. Just for example, now I didn't do this, right? But if I had, let's just say that, because I was a degenerate for well over 10 years.
Like 50 years.
Yeah, something like that. And I was a degenerate for a long time in my life. I was very careful. I didn't have kids or anything. But if I had, let's just say that I had been the average fuck up, and I had, I had a kid, and let's say that I was a true degenerate, and I didn't acknowledge the kid, or I didn't send the mom money, or I basically neglected all of my
Easy,
responsibilities, right?
easy.
And let's just say that I did that, right? And I'm not saying that I would, but I'm just saying we've all seen this. I went to school with a guy named Gail McGee, and he turned out to be an abusive husband type dude. I never would have thought it, like, and he and I actually we had words outside a bar one night, because I called him. I called him out on him. I told him, like, look, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. And of course, I used other words, because I think I was like 25 or 26 at the time, so not the rational, calm, cool, collected, citizen that you see in front of you. I called him out on it, and told him he was full of shit. He should not be abusing his wife, mother of his child, and he should get his shit together, make sure they get paid what they're owed every month, according to whatever he agreed to get out of the marriage that he was in, right? And of course, he didn't want to do that, and I told him that, hey, you're the dumb motherfucker that put yourself in that situation. You got no excuse, man. None. Not one. I don't know what happened to Gail McGee. He's probably still around here. I think he worked for a long time. I'm pretty sure he worked on an ambulance or something. He was actually a good-hearted dude. He just married the wrong woman, oil and water. She everything she said made his hand turn into Mr. Fist. That kind of thing, right?
Mm.
And and I don't know what happened to him, but we had that conversation. And I've had that conversation with many men throughout my life, more than I ever actually thought I would, because for whatever reason, people come to me and talk to me about these things, whether I want them to or not.
You listen to them.
And I do, unfortunately, fucking listen to them. You'd think I would learn. I'm not.
It's that Southern hospitality. It's that Southern hospitality.
No, I'm just
right.
I'm just too stupid to run the other way.
Like you wait for a breaking point, like a pause. Then you try to, but I do got to go now.
Got to be one.
I do got to go. Isn't it Midwestern? You slap your knees. Isn't it Midwestern? You slap. Well, I gotta go.
Well, you got to go now. The wife did make supper, and it's probably getting rather cold.
I don't want to miss the fried chicken. So, but seriously, I think that I think that most men at some point in their life, if they have friends, if they interact with other human beings, they're going to find themselves in this situation. I think the right thing to do is to call your friend out on it and to tell him, hey, don't do that. Because I think most of us can know from experience that in the moment, we actually think what we're doing is right, whether that is yelling at somebody, whether it's physically.
No, I know I'm totally not right. I know I'm not right.
In the moment, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to be honest that I've never been in that specific type of moment.
Well, I've never done those things. I just normally when I know I'm doing something wrong, I totally am aware that I'm doing something petty and wrong.
I think most men feel like they're doing the right thing, right? And then they regret it later, right? Then they think about it, they play it back in their head in 4K, and then they're like, oh fuck.
No, I have a tattoo that says no regrets, so I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
No regrets.
But I guess the point I'm driving at is that if you're in that situation where you were abusive, or maybe you neglected your
kids or something, or
kids
child support or something like that,
or your baby mom, whatever the fuck you want to call them these
your
days.
3 baby moms or something.
But if you find yourself in that situation, right, like you need to make it right,
Well, I think that, great, if you don't mind me jumping in here, but I think like the better question is, look at your friend group, and you're not perfect. You messed up.
I'm a deeply flawed human.
When was the last time someone that you called a friend called you out on it?
Called me out on what? Just
on you doing something wrong. Like, when was the last time like that that you did something wrong and your friends knew about it? And when was the last time any one of them either pulled you aside and like, yo, man, you're fucking up here, or called you out on it? And you know,
actually, I'll be honest with you, man. My wife, about 2 weeks ago, my brother and I got into it.
Wives don't count. They always tell you you're wrong, though.
And no, my wife's like, my wife was like, "Are you doing the right thing here?" And I'm like, yeah, I am. She's like, "Okay, well, you need to look at it and make sure you're right, because because from where she was sitting, she said, you sound like you're being a total asshole, and you should not do that." And so I sat and I thought about it, and I'm like, was I being a total asshole? It could be. It's possible. As a matter of fact, probable. But when I thought about it, no, my brother was an asshole. He yanked my chain, and I yanked it back, and that's how that works. And we settled it, right? We my brother and I talked it out, and I called him I told him, hey, don't act like a pussy all the time. And he said, yeah, I'll try. And that was the end of it, more or less. But my wife did call me out on it. My wife was like, hey, you know.
But I'm saying your
You do that.
friends. I'm
Yeah, so
saying
I have friends that do it to some degree, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it happens to me probably not as often anymore, but you know, I'm more likely to call myself out on it. I will self reflect and be like, was I really being a dick? And a lot of times, and I know that there are people in this very chat that I've done this with, where I've gone back and I've said, hey, you know, I think maybe I was a little too hard on you, or maybe, you know, maybe I took what you were saying the wrong way, and you know, I don't know if I owe you an apology exactly, but probably could have maybe handled that better. And are we cool? Because if we're not cool, then we need to talk about it. I think that
Right.
that's something men do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I tell my friends to call me out. I insist on it.
I think that
We can't
most
get
men
better
should.
without it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
most men should. I think that there's a um,
And see, I bring that up because we're talking about this, and it's like, well, look around. If you can't say that your friends have called you out on something that you know you've done wrong, and they know you that you did wrong, you have to ask yourselves. You have to ask yourself. You might need better friends.
well, you don't have
Because
friends, you have sycophants.
yeah, because
Right.
they're not really invested in you becoming the better version of you.
No.
Right.
So what? And this is something. I mean, if we're talking about people on YouTube,
I'm not
maybe
talking about you. I'm talking about like friends. Like, I
well,
mean,
maybe because I think in person friends are a little different, you know. But on YouTube, especially, your followers, your crowd, your audience, um, they will. I have found in a lot of situations, people will not call out someone because they're um, they're on that pedestal. And if you take that person off of the pedestal, that's a problem, right? And I think that you know you have well, all right, let's contrast two different streamers. Let's talk, and I'm going to do it really quickly because I do have to go to bed. Let's take Andrew Wilson and Destiny because we all know who those people are.
Complete polar opposites.
Yeah, and they're really
who
polar.
is?
You
Oh,
Don't
will
even say
never.
it.
You will
Don't even say it. I'm just
The other
Okay.
day, there was a guy breaking down a communication between Rob and, or pardon me, not Rob, Destiny and his top mod, who, by the way, is also scum, but the top mod was trying to hold Destiny to a standard of honesty and saying, hey, we shouldn't do this. This is actually calling for violence and this is wrong. And this is exactly what we accuse the right of. And we should not do this. And Destiny was making all kinds of excuses for it. I believe Rob Noor has that footage on his channel. Feel free to go check it out. It's fascinating. On the other hand, you have Andrew Wilson, who quite literally says to call him out if he is wrong. And he will call himself out and say, I'm wrong about that.
right.
This is something I should not have done. I could have handled this better. So that is a very stark contrast. Now, Destiny's fans obviously will never call Destiny out for anything really. A lot of Andrew's fans won't call him out. Why? Why is that? Well, because if you call Andrew out and if Andrew's wrong, that means that by association, you're now wrong, right? That's the audience effect, right? You're there because this person is somebody that you believe in. And so while Andrew will certainly call himself out, and Andrew's friends will call himself out when he makes a mistake, or he, you know, he's maybe being too big of a dick, or he takes things too far. I don't think the same is true of the audience or all of the audience. You can disagree with me on that. And of course, Andrew has a great audience, but you know, I think that bears up, right? And I'm just using them as an example because they're easy and everybody knows them. I'm not picking on either one of them. It's just the clearest cut that I could. I could have used Wick, versus, say, Admiral Gibbs, right? Like Wick, you know that you're not going to get judged fairly. You know that he's going to step in as a moderator, and you know that his standards are kind of all over the fucking place. Where with Admiral Gibbs, Gibbs has a set of standards, even though he's a degenerate. He's a degenerate with standards. I could say the same thing about him, right?
Mm.
So I think that's what kind of where we're going with this, right? And whether it's a streamer or whether it's a an audience member or whether it's people in your real life, when you know that you're doing wrong, or somebody else is doing the wrong thing or doing something that they maybe isn't wrong, but
it's giving off the impression like it's not what's intended, it's what's perceived that makes you look guilty. Okay.
Or it's just in bad taste. It's not wrong.
Yes, it's not wrong, but you know what? It's just bad form.
Yeah, bad form.
Right.
But again, here's the problem with that. You do that, I feel bad for the chat, because a chat could do that, and then the streamer, I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of streamers with pride issues, and they'll be like, you know what? Fuck you, you're blocked. Block. You know what? Go somewhere else. I don't want. And then now the whole audience is like, yeah, you should roast them. And then it's like a 10-minute roast fest off of the guy that tried to do the right thing and call them out, right? Yep. And he probably lives at home with his mom. He probably sucks his mom's underwear or something. It's gonna be something stupid like that,
right?
And like a whole bunch of ad homs. So then it's like, no wonder guys are quiet. It's like, what's the point even saying anything? Like, they're not gonna agree with it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think enjoyed, it's like,
sorry.
No, it's all right.
I mean, I've really enjoyed this conversation this evening, and I think we've kind of gone far afield here and there. Potato, it was great having you up, man. I really did enjoy your insight. I'll have to have you back on again when we don't shut down for 15 minutes in the middle of the show. That is, by the way, that is the most fucked up thing ever. Like,
that was
just
wild.
In the middle of the show, it just fucking shuts off. It's fucking crazy.
What happens when you get 3 white guys on YouTube?
Gets pissed off, I guess.
We did not have enough DEI up in here. My 5% did not cover you guys.
Anson, Anson, who is masquerading as Percy Shelley, who's probably a writer of some kind, says he is a standard degenerate. He doesn't have standards.
Interesting.
Fair enough. One each. Standard degenerate. No extras. So, Potato, what do you got going on over the next few days?
So tomorrow night, I have an open panel on my channel at A Potato's Eye on YouTube. And if you would like to join the panel, I would love to have anybody on there. You just have to join my Discord, and then I have a vetting process to make sure that you don't try to take my stream down and things like that. But I'd love to have any kind of insight on that from both left or right. And then on Sunday, I have my live stream where I just rant into the void. But yeah, I appreciate the shout out for sure.
Okay. We already know Glenn Lawrence. Glenn Lawrence is famous, well-known.
I am not. You know what? Like, what's funny is like, my viewers don't even follow my shit. They don't watch my shit. I'm just telling you. I got like all these viewers, right? But none of them watch it. So like, and I don't even care anymore. I'm at the point where I'm just making content to make content because it's good content. But tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing the boxer, Mr. Ed Lattimore. He went for 14-2, I believe, his professional debut. He's a motivational speaker. He actually was one of the original guys in the Red Pill, who is very much like yours truly, who's very much speaking out against it and calling out Rolo. So we're gonna have a really good powwow and talking about, where we think that space went wrong. And because he's very much, he actually is very regretful for even being a part of it. And we're going to talk about what he thinks that young guys and men need to do moving forward. And what is the option? So if it's not the red pill, what option should guys look at? That's the question we're going to be tackling. Who's Uno guy 27?
Oh, I don't know.
Is there a Dos guy?
The only thing he got right in that whole sentence is Andrew Wilson is my friend. Not best friend, but he is my friend. So, yeah. That's the only
Andrew
thing.
Wilson is a friend.
Yeah. And like an actual friend.
Oh, yes. Raging Patriot. Yes, you are watching it. Yes,
Also,
you are. No, is never Lucky. Is that Never
Mm-hmm.
Lucky Rubber Ducky? Is that Duck? Nobody's
No,
saying
no.
That's
No,
a different
that is a very based duck. That is not the duck that you
Never
might be
Lucky
thinking
Rubber
about.
Ducky is a cool dude.
Very cool, dude.
Now, I would say not Christ pill. I would just say Christ, because just stop popping pills, folks. Pills are bad for you. Did you not hear the song by D12? Pills.
But if you're gonna say something pill, it might as well be Christ pill. I mean, if you're gonna say that, let's get away from the pills for sure. I can understand that for sure, though.
No more pills. There's enough pills everywhere. Pills, pop 2 pills and still some what? All right, Greg, go to bed. You're old.
Before I get out of here, I'm sure you guys have heard about the guy who plays Jack Reacher in the series on Netflix or Amazon, whatever.
Alan, I know Alan Richardson.
Yeah, he lives actually near me in Brentwood, and he apparently was riding his motorcycle, dirt bike with his kids. They had little dirt bikes as well, and
he tossed that neighbor around.
This neighbor apparently took offense that maybe the bikes were too loud or whatever. By the way, this is Nashville. We ride dirt bikes here, and he pushed Richardson down twice before Richardson actually like smacked him around like a pimp, and apparently the thing is it looks like the guy was doing it to get money out of the deal, to like sue Richardson or whatever. But the problem is he didn't realize that they had a helmet cam and it was recording literally everything.
And then the neighbor's camera from the second story was looking at it and out the window. That's the one I saw.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. Did he forget that he's not Reacher right now? He's dead.
What's up, Jess? Good to see you in the chat. But yeah, that was awesome. I didn't actually realize he lived. So I actually thought that he lived somewhere else in Tennessee, but Brentwood's like, that's not far at all. And my friend actually lives up there. So maybe I'll just go hang out and see if we can't hang out with the
good luck.
Super based dude. That dude apparently is like really, really based.
He is actually a very strong Christian.
Yeah.
I've watched some of his videos about his faith and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very a very solid bass guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, seems to be. Jess, I am taking care of myself. I'm doing very well actually. So thank you very much for.
He had 4 bear claws earlier today, just so you know.
I still have not found what was the
apple pie bear claw. Get it right.
Pie bear claw. Still have not found one. I've been to literally you've got me to the point where every time I go in to get gas and into a convenience store, I look for them. I have yet to find one.
You know what? I'm on the phone with you half the damn time. I'm going to remind you next time because so just so you guys know, when Grid's driving, he calls Glenn. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Glenn's one of the peoples. Yeah.
So I'm going to remind you next time. Like, I got to walk into the store real quick. I'm going to remind you when you do that.
Yeah. So I'm
going to say it loud enough for the 5-year-old terrorist.
What was it? What was it, guys? I'm sorry. I'm scrolling to find the guy who asked. Best friend Andrews defends Speakeasy against TrippyCast. Did he? Is that what he did? I don't think that's not what I saw. Of course, I haven't actually seen the whole thing. I've only seen about 30 seconds that somebody sent me, but that's not what it looks like. Maybe you can clarify, since you're, mouth, but maybe not since your mouth is full of Speakeasy's balls. So maybe you can't do that. Maybe you can't actually get anything done. I don't
Well, I
wash
mean-
anybody's balls personally.
Why would you assume that they have easy balls in their mouth?
Sorry,
Why would you assume they have easy balls in your mouth? Their mouth.
in their mouths,
Yeah.
because they're ball washing.
For
How else are
easy?
they gonna wash them? How
Like,
else- I don't know. I know how my balls get washed.
I mean, I could tell. Never mind. I'm not going to tell you guys. You guys don't want to know that. You guys already called me a degenerate, so I just better leave that one alone.
Yeah, well, I'm married, so it's not degeneracy,
That's called slavery.
huh?
That's called slavery. Wow, you are so jealous. Grid, are you so jealous? What are you jealous of, Grid?
No, not that I'm aware of. Uno guy apparently has nothing better to do than come over.
Oh, Uno's from Trippy.
Oh, it's from Trippy.
Why would Trippy wouldn't send shots like that?
I doubt that he's from Trippy because Trippy's actually. I like Trippy. He's okay.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Trippy
Yeah.
recently. Good guy. I mean, I definitely think that he's doing the Lord's work to a degree, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
At any rate, I do have to get out of here. I got to go to bed. I got to get up in the morning. Things to do. Oh, by the way, I'm unlikely to be I said this at the beginning, but then we had YouTube didn't take down the stream per se, but they fucked with the stream. I'm going to be in Florida.
he's gonna be at spring break. Okay,
Yeah.
Grid is gonna be on the beach with all the chicks in bikinis doing
my
all the things,
with my
All the
wife.
tinks.
So
and he's gonna be videoing me about it the whole time, so I can
No,
live
no,
vicariously through him.
that's not going to happen. But
It's not gonna happen.
Good,
yeah,
just put the
we've made,
GoPro on.
My wife and I, my 5-year-old and I are all going to Florida for the weekend, and so I'm probably will be. I might be on tomorrow. I don't normally stream Thursday, but if there's a debate or something, I'll do it up. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll be on doing the day shift for sure. But after that, I'm unlikely to stream until the following Monday. And even then, I leave Thursday to go to Texas to shoot a match. So
Where are you going?
this is a busy travel season for me. So, you're going to have to pay attention to your notifications. You got to subscribe. You got to get that bell. You got to get all of that good stuff. And because otherwise you might miss me. And nobody wants that. You guys are all, you're all really, really cool. Bring the drone and GoPro live stream spring break. No.
Yes.
No.
Hey, Grid. So I need you to stop in Orlando because there's a spot I need you to look out for me while you're there. You know what I'm saying?
Orlando. I'm going to be on the other side of Florida. I'm going to be in Sarasota.
I'm gonna send you a number. I know some people's out there.
Okay.
They might want you to bring me something back.
Well, I mean, if I'm open to stream with some people in the Sarasota area.
Yeah, no, these are Christian guys. They're called the Iron Disciples. They have a really good group.
Okay.
I've done a few streams with them back in the day. They're like brothers.
Okay.
So two of them are literally twin brothers, but we're all kind of like brothers. We all chat and talk to each other still.
Yeah.
Solid guys. They're wanting me to get out to Florida ASAP. Because for those that don't know, I'm the goal is to relocate to Orlando to open up the studio. So yeah. But that's another story, another day. Grid needs to go to sleep because he got the old man look right now. You got his head starting to nod he's nodding off
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Grid, we got to talk about the other thing though later.
Well, you have to remind. There's a lot of things, so you'll have to remind me.
The new project we're gonna be.
Oh yeah. That'd be cool. We can talk about that. All right, I'm out of here, guys. As always, be cool. Wear the glasses if you need them, and go stand on somebody else's lawn. I don't even care whose lawn. See
And
ya.
bother Grid during spring break. If you see this guy in Florida,
Do not bother.
hit him up.
Don't
Bug-
bother him.
Bug
Leave
him.
the poor guy alone.
Get off my lawn.
No, bug him. Take pictures with them.